I finally found out the best thing about high school. Once you graduate, you don't have to come back. Welcome to Happy Suffer. I was gonna do, hey, what is going on here? But I can't really do very good, Mr. Belding.
No, that's okay. Are you definitely recording, by the way?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a third party thing I use.
Gotcha. Because I didn't get a ding.
Yeah.
Anyway, not important.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about the unauthorized
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell story, the most important story of our generation.
We're here to talk about the only important thing in the world, Saved by the Bell.
Mm-hmm. And if you listen extremely closely, you can probably hear that it's on my TV in the background.
Well, even listen closely, you'll probably hear one or both of my cats start yelling at me in 30 minutes for dinner. So, yeah. So, Lindsey Turnbull is here with me. The only person I know that would be willing to come on a podcast and talk to me about Saved by the Bell.
It's not like my dazzling personality or like my in-depth knowledge of like movie and TV history, which I don't have. It's just that I was the bottom of the barrel.
No, it was funny because when I first was like, "Oh, let's do this fucking stupid ass Lifetime movie they made," you were like, "Are Kit and Katie gonna be there?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. They have absolutely no interest in ever talking about this."
The best part was I was like, oh yeah, I've totally watched that before.
Yeah. I have 2 physical copies of it at this point because I had bought a DVD with just the unauthorized biography on it. Like when I first discovered it was a thing. And then like last year maybe for Caitlin's birthday, I realized there was a DVD with a 4-pack that was the unauthorized biographies of Saved by the Bell, Full House, Melrose Place, and Beverly Hills 90210. And Caitlin loves Beverly Hills 90210, so I was like, alright, I'm buying this. And then one day we watched all 4 of them. They're terrible.
I was going to say, are they all of this same level of quality and casting?
Pretty much, like, the Beverly Hills 90210 one was okay, but it kind of does the same thing that this one does, where it focuses mostly on how, like, everybody can't stand, I'm blanking, Shannon Doherty. And how, like, so, like, we'll get into it, but the Saved by the Bell one is based off Dustin Diamond's book that, like, everyone was like, none of this is true, including him. So,
right.
Like, it's clearly, like, a bunch of nonsense. But then, like, the Full House one is just, like, you think the people in the Saved by the Bell one don't look anything like their counterparts. The Full House one is baffling, their casting decisions. But it's mostly, like, oh, it's crazy that Bob Saget, this, like, foul-mouthed comedian, turned into this, like, family TV actor or whatever. And then the Melrose Place one I have no context for because I don't think I've seen a single episode of that show. But
yeah, that was a little before my time. That and Beverly Hills 90210 were both like a little before my time, so those would both be completely lost on me.
The one smart thing I will say that they do is that the same actress plays Tiffany Thiessen in both Saved by the Bell and Melrose Place. Or not Melrose Place, Beverly Hills 90210. So
okay.
That's a good little universe they were building there for a minute.
Yeah. Then they have the, whatever, like a little character continuity.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, I was like, when I first bought it for Caitlin and we were watching, I was like, I'll be interested to see if they, like, recast Tiffany in it or not. And they didn't. They brought the same person in. And granted, she's only in it for, like, maybe a scene, but
well, at least they tried.
Yeah, so this fucking terrible movie that I have watched more times than I feel like I want to admit to the public.
I gotta say though that since you told me, I think you told me about the podcast Zach to the Future.
Oh yeah,
with Mark Paul Gosselaar and
Dashel something. I can remember his last name.
Yes, but he was a writer on the reboot, and I feel like that podcast, which I'd already listened to, I actually kind of enjoyed it, as well as the Zach Morris's trash, gave me like a lot of context for this movie. So I wasn't like, I feel like I was like, oh yeah, I totally know that this happened already.
I'm so mad that they were just like, well, the network doesn't want to continue, so we're just canceling the podcast. And I was like, you could do this shit on your own and make money doing it. Like, you have Mark Paul Gosselaar. Like, you'll make money doing this, and they just didn't.
Yeah, I mean, the Boy Meets World one is still, like, going strong.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to that for a while, and then I stopped. And I thought I saw that there was a Full House one, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember who does the Full House one, and I have to assume at some point the crazy religious like woman from it is going to be on it and talking about how she doesn't want horror movies in her house.
Jodie Sweetin, so Stephanie Tanner and Kimmy Gibbler, and then there's one that Dave
Coulier.
Yes, thank you, Uncle Joey host, and then there's a fan one.
It's crazy how much all of these actors are just like cashing in on like the rewatch podcast thing now. Like there's like 4 Office ones with Office actors. Like,
yeah, well, it's crazy to me too. So like I used to work with teenagers, and this was before COVID, that like a lot of them had gone back, and I don't know if it's just because it was available or what, but I talked to and read about like so many kids that had gone back and watched like the original Full House. And like, I don't know how you could watch it without any nostalgia, because there are shows that I have nostalgia for that I still find like unwatchable.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about that like as I was like rewatching some of the Saved by the Bell stuff this week, where I was just like, I wonder if this show would work at all for like a modern teenager, because it looks so dated.
It does. I mean, the new one, the reboot was actually, and it's like the same thing with the Babysitters Club too, was I thought the reboot like did a good job of making, like more contemporary feeling characters and like dealing with like actual like issues, instead of like, I spent $300 of my parents' money, and like, so I have to go like sell, like Zach is gonna rope me into like,
selling all my clothes.
Yeah, like, no, this episode was just on, so she's trying to sell all of her clothes, and then Belding catches her.
Yeah, and has to donate. She has to
donate all the clothes, and then Zach has people, like, gets paid to, like...
Oh, that's right, yeah. I forgot
without her,
that.
like, permission or consent, and it's just like...
It's the fucking...
This is not a real problem that any teenager of today could relate to, but I feel like the new ones did a better job of doing that, like making it feel like a little more realistic.
The fucking storylines in that original series are all absolutely unhinged.
I know. Like, I watched, I think maybe it was you, because you might be my only Saved by the Bell friend, but went back and watched I wound up watching all of the Zach Morris's trash episodes.
Nice.
I was like, even as a kid, I was like, I didn't really understand like why you were supposed to like Zach, because he was just like so mean to all of his friends. But
yeah, he's constantly scheming at like every chance for something.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's only a handful of episodes that like you are actively supposed to like feel bad for him. And it's like, it's always shit where it's like Becky the duck dying, or like,
oh yeah.
I guess technically you're supposed to feel bad for him, even though it is wildly inappropriate, but like the running Zach episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Oh,
like, oh my gosh. But on the other hand, like I've been watching a lot of Golden Girls, and that absolutely holds up.
yeah, we
Like,
watched that through that a couple years ago.
it's still, I think it's still like one of the few shows that actually makes me like laugh out
Yeah,
loud.
it's genuinely like still funny. We
Yeah,
we
I
hit.
tried to rewatch. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say we have like a handful of just like those like winter like everything's terrible outside. Let's just watch through like all of Frasier and like as much as Kelsey Grammer sucks, Frasier is still extremely funny, and it's mostly from like everyone else in the cast.
Yeah, I've tried to rewatch Frasier, but I don't know. Which is weird because I watched that show because like I didn't have cable growing up. Like I don't even think we had cable like available where we lived until my senior year of high school. So I watched like Frasier and The Drew Carey Show and Whose Line like when I was probably like way too young for it. But as an adult, I just hate the character of Frasier Crane like so much that I can't.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I had never watched it until I moved in with Caitlin, and that was like their comfort show.
Mm.
And so we like I watched it for the first time once as they were rewatching it, and like some of those episodes are like insanely funny and like clever, and
Yeah.
I like especially like once you get into like the Niles and Roz stuff pretty heavily, I'm on board. But then it's like most of those shows, any show that runs like 13 seasons or some shit, it gets pretty bad towards the end.
Yeah, I was rewatching Charmed, which is a show I used to watch with my mom like all the time when I was a kid. And it gets so bad so much faster than I remember. Like,
Unsurprising to me for like a CW show.
yeah, like I have a lot of nostalgia for that one. And I'm just like, oh God, this, like, I think I made it through like a season. And a friend of mine who like was really into Buffy in high school. Like I was like just a little bit like too young for a lot of those shows. Buffy and like oh my God, I can't think of the other ones, but like similar shows. And I tried to watch Buffy as an adult and I was like, this is just so bad. Like I can't even I
Yeah,
think I made
I
it through 3 episodes and I was like, no, I give up.
Buffy's a show that like I feel like I was probably right around the age, or maybe like just slightly too old for it, but it just like never appealed to me. I
Yeah,
like the movie, but not the
maybe
TV
we
show.
watched Charmed because that was one like my mom could tolerate because they were all like supposed to be adults.
Like I even like I watched the CW, like the Arrow, Flash, like Supergirl, all of that shit when it was airing, and like looking back on some of it now, I'm like, this probably does not hold up, and that was like 10 years ago, let alone
Yeah.
25 or whatever
Oh,
the fuck.
Dawson's Creek was the big one I was thinking of. Like I think in like third grade when that was really big. And so the kids that like watched it were really cool, but they were all kids with like older siblings. And in third grade, I was like 7. So
Yeah.
I was like the youngest person in my class. So I was like 7 and then I turned 8. And so like there was no like it just was not interesting to me at all.
Yeah, that show never
So,
appealed to me either, so. Uh,
well, it's very popular.
oh yeah, I know. I mean, that's like, that, I feel like that show and like the OC were like two that were like huge for people around my age that just like never were anything I was interested in.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this fucking baffling.
Yeah, I was like, we've just been stalling for like 20 minutes. Like, we're gonna have to log off and log back on because we just keep like stalling,
Probably.
talking about this,
uh,
avoiding talking about this terrible movie.
yeah. So I believe this is a Lifetime movie.
You are
Um,
correct. I pulled it up
yeah, and
just to make sure.
like I don't know, the casting isn't like super terrible. Like they're all fine, but they all just look like just off enough, except for Screech.
Yeah, it's very like, off-brand bargain bin. Like they don't quite look right. It's like when when they switch voices of like animated
Right.
characters, like it's like that effect.
And I feel like, especially like Elizabeth Berkley looks nothing like the like whoever the actor playing Elizabeth Berkley. And
Tira
then
Scoveby.
I feel like Mario Lopez, all they have is that he's got some muscles and the Jerry curl.
Yeah. But
uh,
Lisa, the Lark Voorhees character wasn't like terrible either.
yeah, but she's got like nothing to do in this. Like,
No, they're all just like a little bit like wrong.
well, and the biggest problem with this is, like I said earlier, it is like based off Dustin Diamond's quote unquote autobiography that he has, or like at some point admitted that like was basically just ghost written and made up.
Yeah.
And so like the opening of it is like you're following all of the kids, and they're going to what is supposed to be, I'm guessing, like an autograph signing thing or some shit at a mall, and they're all just like, I don't think anyone's gonna be there, and it's obviously fucking packed. And Zach does his timeout shit, but then Screech takes over, and the entire thing is through like Dustin Diamond's eyes, and how like everyone was a dick to him, and he was just too cool, and no one understood him, and like it's so weird. Like such
what made me laugh is like when they do the pause, you can see like the people in the background
moving.
still moving.
That's perfect.
But like I do think like considering how the rest of Dustin Diamond's life went, like it's a little sad.
Yeah.
Like I do feel like badly. I feel badly for like the real person. There was even a Law and Order like SVU or CI episode based on the relationship between Screech and Zach.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like the Russian mafia is involved. Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
And like, oh my gosh. I have to look this up now. Hold on, because you're gonna be like, wait, what? Yeah, Law and Order Criminal Intent, and you know how I love my criminal intent. It's called Blasters.
That's
and
fucking weird.
Yeah, and okay, hold on. Law and Order CI Blasters. Yeah, Logan and Wheeler investigate a former teen star affectionately remembered for portraying a geeky TV character is found buried in a potter's field. The detectives' inquiries lead them to bootleg DVDs in the Albanian mafia.
Who? I can't even wrap my head around this.
Well, it came out in 2006. No, wait, it was first aired, yeah, in 2006. So, like, if that helps a little.
I get, like, that's so... Well, I don't know. I guess... that's probably... When did Dustin Diamond die?
Recently. Like, way more recently than that.
Oh, yeah, 2021. For some reason,
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, 2015 for some reason.
No,
Yeah,
it was... yeah.
It's gotta, like... I don't know. Like, he...
Oh, wait, do you want to hear a fun Easter egg I just saw?
Sure.
Okay. So, on this episode of Law and Order CI, the show that the fake Zach and Screech are on is called Goofing Around. And they go to this set, and it's the same set that they used in Saved by the Bell.
What? Like... Why do they even still have that?
I'm just saying, like, look, I think you need to go watch.
Oh, I definitely want to watch that.
Everybody, all your listeners need to go watch Law and Order CI, season 6, episode 9. It's called Blasters. The mafia is involved. It's good.
I can't imagine what it would be like to go, like, basically your entire life as just being known as Screech. And so,
That's
like, I
kind
do,
of like
I
part
do
that
feel
is
for
part of
him.
the theme of the episode
Yeah,
too. Is he's like, oh, like I'm always in this guy's shadow. Like nobody cares about me as a person. Like it's just like, oh, you're Screech, be Screech, which is kind of like what this fake documentary is about
well,
too.
yeah, and like it's wild because there's like a bunch of shit they put in it where they're just like, oh, his dad was mean to him, and like everyone, like from the rest of the cast was like, no, his dad was actually like pretty cool and super nice. And I guess maybe there's like, like they saw it like home life with him, but like it just sounds like almost everything that was in that book is like completely made up or like overly exaggerated. And then they put that into this movie with like maybe a handful of like true things, like the stuff with like Mark Paul and Mark Voorhees dating, or like I guess just in general. I think they've all said that like essentially they all kind of dated each other except for Dustin Diamond.
Yeah, I mean they like I feel like they would, right? Like they're in a closed
Right.
environment. They don't necessarily like they're not necessarily like going out with like a ton of regular kids like all the time. And Dustin Diamond was younger than them, so of course they're not gonna do like at that age. It's such a huge difference.
It's crazy how much younger he looks in that first season of like
Yeah,
regular Saved by the Bell, like than everyone else, and then he has like his sort of growth spurt shit into like the second season. He looks a little more close to everyone else until fucking Mario Lopez was always fucking ripped unbelievably,
yeah,
but then like Mark Paul starts getting jacked too, and then everyone looks like they're 40 on it except for him.
yeah. So I guess they're like 4 years apart, Mark Paul and
Yeah.
Dustin Diamond, which is not like that big. But if you think about the difference between like say 17 and 13, like
Right.
that's a huge
Yeah,
difference.
because I think he was like, well, I don't. I guess when actual Saved by the Bell, because Good Morning Miss Bliss is like an entirely different thing. They all look like children on that.
Oh yeah, they're all tiny.
But like, yeah, like I think like by the time the show ended where they graduate, I assume that like they're like all the rest of them are probably actively graduated while like Dustin Diamond probably was still in school.
Yeah, well, that was like a plot point in the documentary, which is the one that I can like of all the things in this like fake biopic that I can see being true is like when the girls, uh, Jesse and Kelly are like, oh, like we've actually graduated high school and we're like still on this show playing high schoolers and we're like that they feel stuck.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's
Which
probably like a big thing for most child actors that like end up landing on a show.
yeah.
I just think like especially about how insane it probably was for like the Olsen twins who were like literally babies and then became like teenagers throughout the run of Full House.
Yeah. And like, well, even like Jodie Sweetin and Candace Cameron, like, Jodie Sweetin had like problems with eating disorders and like addiction, and like Candace Cameron kind of went a different way and just got like super, super religious. But to me, if you think about like this very like kind of chaotic environment that you would have grown up in, like to me, both of those responses like make sense.
Oh, sure, but
Not
also
that I
like
like agree with them, but they like it makes sense to me like why you would like go into like drugs and addiction and like have an eating disorder. And it also makes sense to me that you would want like this very like regimented thing where like maybe you have like a lot of it feels like you have a lot of control over your life because you probably didn't really get that.
if it's also like the time period of like the 90s where like
Hmm.
I remember listening to the Behind the Bastards episodes on like Oprah where
Oh
like
yeah.
the clip of her like harassing the Olsen twins about their weight while like
Yes.
being like, now I know you guys have struggled with like eating disorders, blah blah blah. How much you girls weigh now and shit? But like, why are you asking this? Of all people,
Yes,
you should know better.
I really like in looking back at the way that teen girls were treated in the 90s and 2000s, remember when it was like Jessica Simpson's virginity was like all anyone wanted to talk about? And like in my mind, she was an adult, but in reality, she was like 17.
Right.
Like, and grown adults, grown men and women were asking this 17-year-old child like about her virginity and her body and her weight. And it's just like, yeah, I can see going either way to kind of like get away from that, that like constant I don't know, like police. It's not even police. It's just gross.
Yeah.
Like that people talk to you grossly about things that are gross.
That's like the one thing I do like in this biopic that they do sort of go into is some of the shit of like Zach and Kelly having to kiss on there for the first time, where they're just like, oh, like our first kisses are going to be on fucking TV on this show, and how like
Yeah.
I can't imagine how awkward that has to be, or like I constantly think about how like how sexualized Kelly is,
Yeah.
like immediately, like literally the first episode they even go to, that like it's not the first one that airs, but like the first one that technically should have aired, where like Slater comes to school, like Zach has a cardboard cutout of like Kelly in her like volleyball outfit in his room, and it's like
Yeah.
she's constantly on the show like in fucking little like bathing suits as a fucking lifeguard and shit like that, and it's wild that like, I mean, I'm not surprised because I grew up in that time, but like watching it now, you're like, oh, like as an adult, you're just like, god damn, they did not hold back from like sexualizing this like 13-year-old.
No, and one of the plot points was that Zach was trying to raise money by like taking photos, secret photos of the girls for
The
like a
calendar.
bikini calendar. Yes, like
It like
they were,
it,
which I mean, like on one hand, I'm like, okay, there's supposed to be kids doing things, like kids would totally do that, right? But it's like adults writing it and directing it, and it's like it's not intended for an adult audience, but that like I like there's something about it that I'm just like, I don't
oh
know,
well,
this
it's
kind of is like
because
weird.
all the writers were like 50-year-olds. Every
Yes,
every joke on the show is about the Beach Boys or Elvis or like like just
there
shit
is,
that like
yeah.
no teenager should ever fucking know about.
Yeah,
And
that's the weird part for me is that yeah.
it's baffling like rewatching it now, because I'm just like I'm like there's no way I knew what any of these jokes were about, other than just being like, oh, this is like old people shit probably.
Yeah, I have a joke like in my like I took notes because we had to reschedule this a couple times and I wanted to remember things. But like again, I have a note that's like the executives like don't know anything. Like the smart thing was that they put on Saved by the Bell during like a cartoon
Right.
time, like Saturday morning cartoons, like that was smart. But why, in what world would TV executives think that kids wanted to watch a show about like teachers, which was Good Morning Miss Bliss?
uh it's crazy too, because like I texted you, I found out that there was like an unaired pilot that like, you know, Lark, Mark Paul, and Dustin Diamond aren't in, and it's like the original pilot is like Miss Bliss dealing with a troubled kid whose like, older brother was killed,
Jesus
and I'm like,
Christ.
but it's like Brian Austin Green's in it, and like Jaleel White who played Urkel, and then Jonathan Brandis are like the teenagers, or I guess junior high kids in it. And I'm like, this is fucking weird. And then Mr. Belding is still in it, but it's not, fuck, I don't know why his name's blinking on me now.
Oh my God. I could not tell you
Yeah,
his name.
either way, it's not the actual
I'm
Mr.
gonna look
Belly.
it
It's,
up and I'm gonna. Oh, Dennis
yeah, I
Haskins.
wanted to say Dennis, and I was like, it didn't sound right. But it's played by some other person who's like way older, and
Oh my God,
it's super weird. Um,
that is weird. The other note I have is there's like a comment about Jesse that Jesse makes is like, oh, I like something about a woman president, and I was like, oh, sorry.
oh yeah,
We still haven't had a
yeah.
woman president. Sorry,
Keep
Jesse.
keep waiting.
Yeah. And then did they only license two songs for this?
Yes, it's
Because one of them is Word Up.
yeah. Word Up plays like 5 times.
And then there was another, I think I made a note where I was like, oh my God, it's finally like a difference. Oh yeah. Oh, they got a new song, but I didn't write what it was.
How do you not license the Beach Boys?
They should. They
every
should. Like,
every fucking song in this should have just been like Barbara Ann.
it's like, wait, was, I wish they all could be
Yeah.
California girls. Is that the beach?
Or I would have gone back and I would have got the Beau Revere song that Zach puts the fucking hidden message in. That is
Why
like,
not just like the friendship
yeah,
song?
just play Zack Attack and everything. All right, I
Oh my God, fucking Zack Attack.
yeah. So I do think one of the things we obviously need to talk about is that obviously they do the Jesse on caffeine pills.
Of course. And this was like, oh, they were begging the producers and the writers to do like more serious topics, and that is what they came up with.
I well, like I wonder if in reality it was like truly a thing where they were like, can we like handle a topic that isn't like Zach trying to sell us to the FBI or some bullshit like
Right.
and like just between writers and like studio execs being like, well, they can't be on like heroin, so I don't know, caffeine pills.
Right. And then Screech like actually starts drinking like
Oh,
in
it's
his
so funny.
fake real life.
This dude's acting as like drunk Dustin Diamond as a teenager is so funny because it's like it's
And then it's sad too because he's
it's
like, "Oh, I
sad.
finally have a friend," and then the friend is like only his
But,
friend to try to get on the show.
I just like that the way they portray that he's drunk is he's just doing fucking Wayne's World quotes to the kid.
Yes,
I was fucking dying, and that it's like the reason
yeah,
he like starts drinking and like runs into this dude is he's just like mad about something on the show and walks out. And he's all fucking storming out as a 14-year-old, and this dude's just like, "What's up, bro? You want some vodka? Just some straight vodka."
yeah. Very normal conversation. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like Hollywood celebrity world is different, but
I could see that
doesn't.
being a thing where just these like teenagers that don't know any better are just like, this is the cool way to drink.
Yeah, I feel like I listened to one of these podcasts about these 90s shows where they were all like smoking outside in between sets and they're like, 15 or 16.
I
But maybe I invented that.
I do think one of the things that probably came from Dustin Diamond's books that I feel like I've heard enough rumors about being true is that Mario Lopez was fucking everybody that came to set.
Oh, I believe that. And like, yeah, I think like you said, they all like dated each other. And I guess like, again, yeah, it would have been probably very dramatic, like behind the scenes to have these like, you know, attractive, quote unquote, like teenagers all working together in a closed set.
Right. Like,
But I do remember that they go back, like Zach, the Mark Paul Gosselaar, like on the podcast, like I think at one point he like talked about going to normal school, so like in between filming or something.
yeah, I know, like, I thought they like went to school until the show got like really popular, and that's when it becomes like all on set. But like, because there is a period where like technically, Good Morning Miss Bliss gets canceled, and they like go back to whatever normal life, and then Saved by the Bell, and I think like that gets canceled or something, or like sometime during the first season, and then it starts gaining in popularity, and they keep it going. And so
Yeah.
like that's another thing that they do kind of portray in this, that like through Dustin Diamond's eyes of like, it can't have been easy for him playing Screech and then having to go back to school as like, oh, fucking Hollywood's back, and you're already looking like Dustin Diamond did.
Yeah, yeah, I do think that would have been hard. And I kept saying that is like, oh, like what's like I do feel bad for Dustin Diamond because like he is so much younger and like obviously he's gonna be left out. And then the character he's playing is kind of like the butt of all the jokes. But also like on this documentary, this faux documentary, like in particular, he is portrayed as being so like deeply unlikable and
I know.
annoying. I'm like, well, of course nobody likes you.
But it's also it's wild because like rewatching the actual show, like he's genuinely got good comedic timing. Like
Yeah.
he's genuinely funny on it, and like I like it. I'm sure it all just comes down to that. Like he looks the way he does, and like, you know, that's just being a teenager sucks already. But then like being like that, I'm assuming probably sucks. And then you're like, yeah, the butt of every joke on the show, and like, yeah,
And you're 4 years
yeah,
younger than like that's such a huge like having
well,
worked with teenagers, like that 4 years between 13 and 17, say, or 12 and 16 is huge.
yeah.
Like they're gonna the minute they're done taping, like those kids have nothing in common.
Well, and then you think like, you know, not like they all had like immediately like fucking huge careers, but like as they all like leave Saved by the Bell, they, you know, like Elizabeth Berkley is like making movies and like Showgirls and like kind of other shit. Like,
Showgirls is required watch. That
oh,
was the
Showgirls
COVID
is a
movie.
masterpiece.
Everyone that spends any amount of time at my house, like they have to watch Showgirls. It was something like Blake and I started doing during COVID with like our little pod. And now, like, now that Blake's gone, I'm like, oh, this is like a tradition I'm gonna keep up. Like,
Yeah.
if you come to my house once or whatever, like, that's fine. But if you're here all the time, like, you gotta watch Showgirls.
I think that if to do a true Saved by the Bell rewatch, you have to finish the college years and then watch Showgirls and then watch the wedding in Vegas when like Jesse's not in it until the very end when she comes running in because she's been like living in Vegas, and I just assume that the entire storyline is that she changes her name and becomes a showgirl.
Wait, what was the new class? I don't
Well,
think I watched
no,
that.
so that's what I was gonna say. They all like start moving on. Like Tiffany moves on to Beverly Hills, and then like is doing like other shit. Like Mario Lopez, like maybe not immediately, but he's been fucking the host of Extra or whatever the fuck for like 25 years now. Mark Paul's like pretty much stayed consistently acting. Mark Voorhees is another story. She had a fucking complete meltdown and lost her mind for a little bit. But like Screech went from Saved by the Bell to the college years to I think being in almost every season of the new class, which somehow ran longer than regular Saved by the Bell.
That is so weird. I don't know that I've watched a single
It's
episode of your
I've
class.
seen a couple episodes and it's rough. It's real hard to watch. But I
And
also
apparently, I missed this. There's a movie,
of the new class.
Saved by the Bell Hawaiian
Oh
style.
yeah, they used to air that as just episodes. It's when Kelly's uncle or something is losing his resort in Hawaii.
I do not remember. I have memory hold this.
You've probably seen it because it's one of the like that and the wedding. They aired as just like they broke up into like 3 episodes of Saved by the Bell and would air it during, you know, the syndication or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
you're probably like I've probably seen it. You're right.
Like
but...
Mr. Belding is there for a Elvis gathering where he's dressed like Elvis at the airport and runs into the kids, and it's very stupid.
Okay, well, so Screech, I'm looking up Dustin Diamond's career, and it just seems like he did a lot of cameos, and then he did the sex tape.
Yeah, and like he was on like all of those like shitty late 90s early 2000s reality shows, like that celebrity boot camp weight loss show he was on.
Yeah.
And he immediately like
he had an alternative metal band.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Called Salty the Pocket Knife.
Fine. Like he for like a brief maybe 2 or 3 year period was just like showing up as the villain on a bunch of those like bad reality shows, and then got arrested and shit, and then did his fucking gross porn tape, and yeah, he had did not seem like he had a great life.
No, like didn't he also have like a lot of problems with addiction?
Yeah, because that was the thing, like he got arrested for like I think being high at a bar and stabbing somebody on like Christmas Day or some shit, like something like that. Like I don't know. That's what I was like. I know he's sort of like the person everyone just like doesn't like from the show, even though like, you know, when he died, everybody said like extremely nice things about him from the cast. But it's like,
yeah.
I come back to, like, it could not have been fucking great to just be known as Screech for, like, the rest of your life. Because you just think about how, like, how many, like, celebrities, especially ones that sort of got popular for one thing, but then, like, continue working but never have that same level of just, like, being, like, walking down the street and getting, like, your just fucking tagline or, like, character name yelled at you from a bunch of people has to at least at some point, like, be aggravating.
Yeah, I mean, especially, like, that's been happening to you since you were, like, 10.
Yeah, like 13 or whatever.
Yeah, like, that sucks.
And it's so weird in this biopic where, like, the one thing I'm curious about is I know Peter Engel wrote a book about the show that I've wanted to read, but I also have heard that like a lot of it is also incorrect, so probably not great. But like there's like a scene in this where somebody at like the studio's kid is killed in a fucking car accident. And they're like,
yes,
like for some reason, Peter Engel and like Dennis Haskins are just like, Dustin Diamond, you have to like be the rock for this group or fucking whatever. And it's so weird.
That was, yes,
like
yeah, I remember that.
Also, there's like a scene in it where like he's hitting on like some teenager that came to visit the set, and I'm just like, this is the most awkward shit imaginable.
Oh my
gosh. It's not even the real life version of it.
Yeah, and what was funny also, like another point that like whatever is that they go to the executives to have lunch. The executives are wearing insane suits.
Yeah.
And they're all getting sent to these like glamorous locations like Paris and like Mexico City and whatever, like Rome, and then Screech gets sent to South Carolina.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
he's
right.
Like, he's so mad about it, and he like shows up drunk and whatever, but it's like, okay, but like he wanted girls and there were girls there that like wanted him, and it like wasn't enough.
Yeah, like
like
I feel like if if your entire goal as Dustin Diamond on this show is to like get laid, I can't have been that hard. I feel like somebody probably coming to one of those like gatherings would have fucked him.
Oh, totally.
Like,
Yeah, like this is what I'm saying. Like, so if you're this person and you're like, you're always in your cast members' shadows, like, yeah, maybe you don't want to go to South Carolina when everyone else is like going to Europe, but you get to like shine on your own and like you don't have to compete with Mario Lopez and Mark Paul for girls. Like, isn't that a win for you?
like it's like every story I've ever heard about like Mario Lopez on that set is insane. Especially because like he already looks 20 years older than everybody else because he has the physique of like a 28-year-old fucking bodybuilder somehow.
Which is also insane that he has not aged.
No,
Like, I'm sure a lot of
not at
that is
all.
like, I'm sure a lot of that is Botox
Sure.
and like, treatments, but like he still looks like, oh,
He still looks really good. Like I think Elizabeth Berkley looks.
no, I think she had a bunch of surgery and like,
Oh, did she? I've only
she had a
seen
bunch
like
of plastic surgery and like, I mean, I guess she doesn't like look bad.
she's still
She,
like
maybe it's just that this picture is like incredibly unflattering, the one that always shows up
like
with
I
her.
she has been like in the last handful of years like showing up to like showgirl screenings because obviously there was like a period where it was just like, oh, this was her big chance and it was a flop and everybody was making fun of her, so she like distanced herself from it and then realized it had this like huge cult following and will just like show up to screenings to like introduce it and shit. I think she still looks really good. Like Mark Paul just looks like middle-aged Zach.
Oh my God, I forgot Elizabeth Berkley is in the First Wives Club, which I love that movie.
She is in a lot of movies. Like she does not seem like she really stopped working. She just wasn't doing like big, like real big like movies.
Right. Oh my gosh. There's a documentary, I guess, about showgirls called
Yeah, You
You
Don't
Don't
Know
Know
Me.
Me.
I
Oh my God.
specifically, when that came out, I have 2 Blu-ray copies of Showgirls because I bought one specifically because it came with a second disc with that documentary on it. And then like Vinegar Syndrome released it and it was like part of my subscription, so I got like another copy of it. And it's a pretty good documentary. It's mostly like, from what I remember, it's very like academic, I guess is the right word.
Okay.
Like they go pretty deep into the movie as opposed to like the cultural impact of the movie. But it's good, and it goes into how, especially like Elizabeth Berkley got like pretty. She got like all of the blame for Showgirls failing when like it was mostly because people did not understand the movie Verhoeven was making.
Right.
Uh,
I just saw that she was also on NYPD Blue, which like Mark Paul Gosselaar was also on. So
mhm.
that's kind of
Yeah, I mean
that's
like pretty much everyone from that show, at least from like the kids, stayed pretty consistently working except Lark Voorhees.
well, didn't she get like really, really, really like religious?
Yeah, she seems like she had a pretty hard mental break from like reality for a
Yeah.
little. I
Oh,
she
it says she has schizoaffective disorder, which is like schizophrenia and a mood disorder.
Yeah, she wrote this like a book that I tried to read because like when we first launched the Patreon for I Hope You Suffer, like pretty early on, we did an episode that was just like we each picked a movie starring somebody from Saved by the Bell.
Mm.
Where because I feel like one of the only movies Lark Voorhees did that was like something big post this is she's the like love interest or whatever in How High. and like she wrote a book that I can't. I'll look it up. The title is Unhinged, and I tried to read it, and it is unreadable
Is it
because
the one that's like written in all caps?
no, it's written in like every like there's a comma after every word. The title is True Light, a superior take unto the premiere. Haloing of tenuation readily available. True Light provides resources into times, motifs, and vestiges. Authenticate revelation.
Oh, okay.
Every word has a comma after it.
Oh,
And I
all right.
tried reading it, and I think I made it like 5 pages, and I was like, I cannot do this because it's literally written like every single word has a comma after it.
That's like it feels like some weird the title sounds like weird AI slop like before there's AI.
Right. Like
Like it's
and
very strange.
it's I don't know. I don't know if growing up on this show and also like a Jehovah's Witness and like all of this shit just something happened to her brain, but it seems like she's kind of gotten her shit back together. Like she, if I remember correctly, she had like a cameo in the reboot in that first season.
Did she? I know they're all like in it and
Yeah.
she's not.
The one thing, like, because Dustin Diamond had passed away, and they just say that like Screech is living in like the space station or whatever. He's like up working on like the fucking space station in space. Uh, Hopefully Kevin was with him. Kevin the robot.
Kevin the robot.
um, I never watched the second season of that, and I still need to. I don't know why. For some reason, it like aired, and I was just like, I'll get to it because I liked the first season a lot.
I want to say I watched the whole thing because I got Peacock like just to watch it
Yeah, same. And
and then got rid of it. But I remember it being like again like actually good and it's still like really campy and like cheesy, but they deal with like some real shit.
yeah, they deal with like actual things teenagers would deal with as opposed to uh trying to save the max for 10 episodes
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, and then like one of the most popular kids is like trans
Yeah.
and she's like an influencer, like she's really really popular.
Yeah, that first season I thought was really good. And then I think it was like the second season was going to air and they were like, "Oh, it's been canceled or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, well, if it's not like actively coming back, I'll get to it eventually." And I just forgot about it. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that exists. I should." So, I think I'm going to like continue watching through the regular show and just work my way to it.
Yeah, okay, this is so funny. So recurring Mark Paul Gosselaar, he's now the governor, former governor of California,
Right.
and he runs for governor as a way to get out of a parking ticket and then cuts $10 billion in education funding, which forces the closure of poorly funded schools. That is like the impetus for this
Yeah.
whole, like the whole plot is that, you know, all these kids from the quote unquote like poor school have to come to
It's
like
like
the rich school where the governor's kid, I'm sorry, would not go to public school.
it's like I think that's a smart take on it because it's a like an actual issue of like the way school districts are and like shit like that. So I do think it's like an interesting like way to start that reboot. And also like funny that it's like Zach did all of this just to get out of a parking ticket, which also makes sense.
Yeah, it feels very like in character.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have anything else about this fucking insane biopic you took notes on?
Oh my God, I did take, I'm telling you, I took notes. I'm a good student. Yeah, so like I ended up reading a bunch of articles about it that's like, here's some things that did or didn't happen. And like all the stuff that happened, I knew because of the Zach to the Future podcast.
Right.
So, which again, like you're still getting it through like Mark Paul Gosselaar's memory. It's not like, you know, whatever. And he even says that he like doesn't really remember a lot of the recording
Oh
taping
yeah.
of the show.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is
I have to assume that, like, there's probably trauma there dealing with everything that
probably.
happened at that time that you just block it out. Plus, like, I'm sure taping of that went so fast a lot of the time that it just blurs by.
Yeah, and like
one of the
it's
things.
all the same plot. Like what's there to remember? Like, oh, you're Zach, you cause hijinks, and then everything's fine. Like,
Right, yeah, I would say every episode is just how's Zach getting out of this jam now. One of the things that like I've been kind of paying attention to on this rewatch is like it's crazy how good all of those kids are at like live acting. Like say what you want about like the plots and shit, but like they're one of the episodes I watched today was the one where they forget Screech's birthday and they're gonna throw him a birthday party in Mr. Belding's office, and like they have to like the fucking hall monitor like is being a dick, so Zach gets him kicked out and they get Screech as the hall monitor so they can sneak into the office or whatever. But once they get into Belding's office and like they make up with Screech, they have to throw him a birthday party in like 5 minutes, and so they're all like running around like getting like they turn the blinds and all of a sudden like the blinds go from just like whatever color to it like they open and it says like happy birthday Screech behind it, and they have like all the banners and shit behind like pictures that they flip open, but they all have to act super fast and be like I got you binoculars, here's sunglasses, here's this. Then they all sing happy birthday to him at like not to the song because they don't have to pay for it, but they sing it super fast and like they do it all like boom 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 boom, and I was like shocked at like how well they all were able to like synchronize and get all of that shit done in like one shot, probably one take. And like I think they don't, because the show is what it is, I don't think they get nearly the credit that they should for like pulling off a lot of the shit they pull off on that show.
yeah, that's true. I mean, there are like good comedic moments, like on the one I was just watching, Dancing to the Max, when they're like Jesse and uh Zach are practicing. She's trying to teach him how to dance so he can like impress Kelly and enter the dance contest with her. And Jesse goes like, "Oh, pretend I'm Kelly. Like, however will I choose between, Slater and Zach?" And then like, they cut to the school where Kelly says like exactly that. And like the little like face Jesse makes in the background is like really funny. And it's like they had good like comedic like it's not their fault the scripts were all like insane.
Yeah, like I feel like if you took that exact same cast and had them doing like the same shit like Beverly Hills 90210 was doing around the same time, they could have probably pulled it off just as well. They just like were stuck on this extremely goofy show with a bunch of old men writers writing jokes that like kids should not even understand what they're saying
No, doesn't make
or
any sense.
making completely inappropriate like jokes about every woman on that show. Like I forgot, I maybe probably just blocked it out, how much of Slater's character is just like a misogynist jerk for like
Oh,
most of
yeah.
the show.
Oh, yeah, he's awful. And weren't didn't you text me yesterday or the other day where they're like where Mr. Belding goes like, "Oh, all women get headaches?"
Oh
And it's
yeah,
like, "Whoa."
I forget what episode that was.
Was that the one where Kelly like gets drives the pretend car? How well funded was this fucking school? But where Kelly's like crashes the pretend car
No,
or something.
Lisa does that. That's later on. It was like
Oh my God. Now I have to look through our text and see if I can
I
find it.
forget what the episode was, but it's like
Oh,
okay.
Kelly pretends to be a violent psychopath
Oh,
after
right,
Zach
right.
and Screech put a bug in Jesse's house to spy on them. Zach is like, "You don't understand. She gets these headaches." And Building is
Like
like, "They all get
it's
headaches."
like Zach, they all get headaches, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's
uh,
like, I mean, I guess it kind of like, so in like little kid like shows for like younger kids, there's always some adult jokes, but like the kids in theory watching this show would not be watching it with their parents. So
no.
that's kind of like a,
I, I
yeah,
I think about like how I watched it, and I probably never even gave like a second thought about some of the
no.
stuff happening in it. And you watch it now, and you're like, there's an entire episode that's like Belding hanging out in Zach's room with like Slater, Zach, and Screech just like male bonding.
So, I mean, yeah, the whole show is just bizarre, and it's kind of funny, like that it was like a serious concerted effort, like from the network, which makes it even more bizarre.
Yeah.
But
Um. Yeah. I don't know. We got 10 more minutes before this Zoom ends. If you have anything else you want to run
I'm
through,
just gonna just like, what the fuck?
yeah.
No. Don't watch this. It is not good. Read one of the many articles about this specific unauthorized Saved by the Bell story, or just go listen to the podcast. Like that's like, that's way better. And a lot of the stuff that they talk about in this unauthorized documentary, they like actually talk about. And you get to like learn more about like the different like background actors and like like that's the part that's kind of the most
Well,
interesting.
yeah. I think that like Mark Paul podcast is like the first time I ever heard about like, no, he's not, like, he wasn't blonde. He was actually like, his mom is like Polynesian or whatever, and he has like,
Yeah, she's
and it's
Filipino.
so wild because like for so long everyone would like make jokes about like Zach Morris, the perfect like Aryan kid, and you're just like, I'm sure that wasn't great to hear. It's like
Right.
somebody of
Okay,
like a
this
mixed
is
race.
yeah, his father, his great grandparents were murdered during the Holocaust, and his mother was born in Bali. Like,
Yeah, that's
he was
crazy.
not like this fucking Aryan child. Like, he's literally like had relatives that were like murdered in the like in Nazi Germany.
Yeah, God.
And then his mother is Indonesian.
Yeah, like
I thought she was Filipino, but
if like
just as
I wonder, maybe they say it incorrectly in the biopic, and that's what I'm thinking of. I don't remember
maybe.
because I remember I know there's like a brief exchange between like him and Dustin Diamond in it that like there's like, oh, like, so that hair's not real, and he's like, no, I'm actually like have brown hair. My mom is whatever, whatever, and
Yeah.
so well, at least one of the things in it was true.
Yeah. Well, and also the Lisa Turtle character really was written to be like a Jewish
Oh
American
yeah,
princess.
and
Like
that
that is
like
also
Elizabeth
true.
Berkley was only cast because she was like so good in her audition that they just created the character for her.
Yes. And they did actually include their hobbies in the show.
Yeah,
Although it's also like insane in the actual show that like they're all good. Like they all do drama, they all sing, they all play music, they all do sports.
oh my
Like
god, I can't even get into the Glee Club episode. um, all right. Do you have anything you'd like to shout out while you're here?
Yeah, well, two things. One, go listen to At the Gates and Dysphere and
Yeah,
Lock Up. And, Tomas fucking, he was, I wouldn't say we were friends, but I was a huge fan of At the Gates and I got to, like, meet him several times, throughout my life. And he always remembered me and we always had a nice chat. And, like, he was, one of the like even if he wasn't involved in music at all, like I think I still would have liked to know him because he was like one of the best of us. So go blast him at the
yeah.
gates, like
It's not
go listen to Dysphere, like yeah.
it's not often that there's somebody that can say that like they are a like creator of a subgenre essentially. So
Yeah.
like, and, man, Slaughter of the Soul goes so fucking hard.
Yeah. Well, the red in the sky is
Yeah.
as I can hear Blake being like, of course that's your favorite.
I just like when I used to like ride my exercise bike all the time, like I would listen to Slaughter of the Soul like so much.
Yeah. It's a great album. I can just totally like I hear Blake making fun of me because I told him Show No Mercy was my favorite Slayer and like Kill 'Em All is my favorite Metallica. And he's like, "Of course those are your favorites. Like what the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, I'll back that. Go listen to At the Gates. They're
Yeah, go listen to Dysphere. Like
yeah.
that. Go listen to Lockup. That's like Nick Barker too. Like really just a lot of like stellar musicians that he was also surrounded with. So
All right, you want to tell people where they can find you and your work and all
no,
that
no,
shit?
I'm kidding.
Perfect. Like how everyone on here is always like, no.
No, I do have a business. I have a zero waste business called From Here to Home Essentials because I would like all of us to stop paying for our own garbage and paying for big oil to poison us via microplastics. So if that is your vibe,
Yeah.
you can find me at From Here to Home Essentials on all of Meta's properties.
Yay, all the good properties.
Yeah,
All right. See.
or you can. I'm at the Pit Goddess if for some bizarre reason you want to talk to me.
If you would like to argue with
You
Lindsey
don't.
about shit on the internet.
I had a good burn. Okay, there's 3 minutes left. I gotta tell you a good burn, and I'm totally gonna send him this to listen to. But I was talking to my friend Jesse, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to see Deaf Heaven, this like black gaze band,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Did you just mansplain Deaf Heaven to me?" And then I was like, "Do you know? Like, I saw Deaf Heaven on their first US tour, blah 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 blah." And then he goes, "There is no way in any world that I would assume I know more than you about music." And I said, "Yes, and I think you need to keep it that way." So if you would like a sick burn,
I just like the idea of like explaining probably one of the biggest metal bands in the world to like somebody that listens to metal. It's be like, I don't know if you've heard of this band, the Deftones, but you know.
oh my God. But seriously, when I worked at the Primus show, it was literally like, now, have you ever heard of Primus?
I'm
And then I'd
sure.
be like, do you know who Larry Lalonde is? Because you're about to fucking learn today. Like
All right. Yeah, go check out
anyway,
Lindsay's shit.
I'm the hair cap that
Yeah.
Mark Paul uses
Yep.
to dye his hair blonde.
I will put a link to your biz in the show notes.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming back on. I will.
Thanks.
I
Oh
would
my gosh,
gladly
please
talk to you
call
about
me.
Saved by the Bell all day.
Please call me if you want to talk
Yeah.
about it by the bell.
All right. I hope you buy some buddy bands, but why?
I hope you listen to Zack Attack.
Yeah, the best band. I don't know. You have Zack Attack, Friends Forever. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, I don't know. They're like a post-punk
Post-punk.
indie band.
I sent you that link of like somebody that like watched their fingers and shit and put real music over it, like what they're playing. It is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Put that in the notes too, because
Yeah, I should just put it at the end of this episode.
you should, because I'm like,
It's so funny.
I'm gonna go watch that right now.
Right, that was the best song you ever wrote, Zach.
All right.